from Gumpa Road Municipal Secondary English School. I'm going to teach you all history and political science. So today we are going to start with chapter number 1 for political science, that is post-World War political developments. Post-World War. Post-World War means after World War. What were the political developments? Political developments means increase in the national political unity and political participation of different countries of the world. So that we are going to study in this particular chapter, that is chapter number 1. Now, students, let's revise, okay, till your 8th standard, okay. You have learned with history, you have learned civics, okay. Now, for your 9th and 10th standard, you all are going to study political science with history. So, till now, in your civics textbook, we have studied local self-government institutions. Local self-government institutions, like you have studied about municipal corporation, you have studied about Gram Panchayat, Zilla Parishad, Panchayat Raj system. Like in rural areas, it's Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, and Zilla Parishad. And in urban, it's Nagar Panchayat, Municipal Council, Municipal Corporation. You have learned in your civics textbook about it. Then you have learned about India's constitution, which is the supreme law of our country, and our political system, which is the process of making official government decision or governmental structure, you can say. In this class, we are going to study India's relation with the world. Okay, so in this class, in your 9th standard, in your political science, you're specifically going to study how is India's relation with other countries of the world. Now, you must have understood world geography. Okay, world geography, it's basically about journey around the world in which you learn about the physical and human geography of various regions through the study of geography. So when you learned about geography, you have learned about journey all around the world, about the physical features of particular region, human geography of various region. Now you must have become familiar with the global historical events. Global historical events means the events which has happened in the past, okay, like 9/11 terrorist attack on World Trade Center of USA, India's independence. You have studied a major event, in whatever happened in history, Quit India movement, okay, through the study of history. Now, through the study of political science, we are going to study India's relation with the world and some major global issues. Major global issues, like you will learn about human rights, terrorism, securing environment. We are dependent on different persons, institutions, and organizations in the society for different reasons and for different facilities. Okay, so we live in such a society, like we are dependent on each other. Okay, we don't all we all don't have farm, or we don't build houses, or we don't make any kind of semiconductors. Instead, we rely on division of labor and exchange of goods and services. Okay, so we are dependent on different persons in society. We are dependent on institutions. We are like colleges, universities. We are dependent on healthcare. We are dependent on hospitals, military, government in the society for different reasons and for different facilities. Our social life is interdependent. Interdependent means our life in the society is dependent on each other. And mutual cooperation. Mutual cooperation means helping each other to achieve a goal, has a very important place in it. Just as it is true about individual and society, it applies to different nations as well. How we are dependent on each other in society. Okay. Similarly, when it comes to different countries of the world, they are also dependent on each other for some or the other reason. There are many independent nations in the world, like India. some exchange and interaction goes on between them constantly. Okay. So there are many independent nations all over the world. Like we have our country, India. So some kind of exchange, some kind of interaction, discussion goes on continuously. Exchange in terms of trade, oil, minerals between different countries of the world. Now, these independent states, they also enter into treaties with each other. Now, what is treaties? Treaties means a written agreement, you can say, between two or more countries. Okay, like we had these Rafale jets for Indian Air Force arrived in India nearly after 4 years after India signed an intergovernmental agreement with France. So we sign a treaties with each other. So a system of all this independent sovereign means state with a defined territory which administers its own government and is not dependent on any other power. It comes up. So we call it as international system. Let us know some features of this international system. The first one here is interdependence. You should understand the concept of interdependence, students. Now, all the countries of the world are dependent on each other. As I discussed earlier, that all the countries of the world are dependent on each other for some or the other reason. However powerful, however mighty the nation is or the countries, they are dependent on each other. Like India imports crude oil from Gulf countries and exports spices to Gulf countries, export raw materials to China and import finished steel products in Britain. However big or prosperous or developed a nation may be, it can never be self-sufficient about all its needs. However big or successful the nation is, but it can never be self-sufficient. Means it won't be able to produce everything that is that you need without help from each other. Even big nations have to depend on other big and small nations. Thus, interdependence is an important feature of an international system. That is today's global system. Now, what is the difference between interdependence between individuals and between nations? Now, interdependence between individual is like for small services in villages like Baluta system, where farmers undertake agriculture and the artisans, they meet the need of the villagers. In exchange of the service rendered, the whatever things the artisans and made, the artisan make use of the receive food grains and other articles. So it is the exchange of the services with each other. So this is between individuals. Now, interdependence between nations is on much larger scale. India is deficient in petroleum products, means it has less of petroleum products, whereas the countries in West Asia, they have a lot of petroleum products. Thus, India depends on West Asian countries for the petroleum products to be imported and has to pay huge sums in foreign exchange for the imports. So this is the difference you can say between interdependence when it comes to individual and when it comes to nations. Now next we have is international relations through foreign policy. Okay. Now foreign policy, you all are going to study the whole chapter of foreign policy, India's foreign policy specifically in the next chapter. Now here you have to understand what is the concept of foreign policy. Now, every nation has policies. Like every nation has certain plan of action, okay, which is chosen by the government about its internal dealings. Okay, internal dealings you can say in terms of defense, trade, technology, arms, ammunitions, etc. As also about its relation. Relation means which country to be friendly with, or which group of countries to join with other nations. Such a policy is called as foreign policy. Now we come to background. Before starting the World War, we come to Background. The world in which we live today has shaped through many events and developments. So the world which we are living in present, okay, so it has come from past that had wherein many events and developments have taken place. Now, in historical events, you can say the American Revolution, which happened between 1775 and 1783. It was a political revolution which occurred in North America. Then the Reformation, that's the religious change in Europe in 1517 by Protestant who wished to reform Catholic Church. Then the Renaissance, you might have studied this chapter in your history, in your previous standard, wherein a period of European history marking the transition from Middle Ages to modernity in 15th and 16th centuries. These are many, a few of the events, and there were developments as well. Economic development, you can say, wherein rise in standard of living of people, social development, development in terms of education, healthcare, public services. So hence we need to go back in history in order to understand today's world. We know that two world wars were fought in the last century. Means in the 20th century, there were two world wars, okay, which happened. These were the most important events in the world in that century. The world completely changed because of them. So because of this world war, that is World War One and World War Two, okay, there was a complete change that happened in the whole world. New currents of thought emerged, means new opinion or thought of group of people emerged. So now students, let us understand what else happened due to these world wars. Now coming to First World War. Okay. Now First World War, what are the causes of World War One? Now World War One, this is also known as Great War. It began in 1914 after the assassination killing of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, okay, who was a ruler of Holy Roman Empire, Austria-Hungarian Empire, and the Spanish Empire. And he was a high presumptive successor to the throne of Austria-Hungary. Now his mother, okay, catapulted into the war. Means there was, as his murder had taken place, he was killed. Okay, it erupted into a war across all over Europe that lasted until 1918. Means from 1914 to 1918, the World War period, World War One period. Now during the conflict, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, and Ottoman Empire, that is the Central Powers. This was a group of nations who were fighting against the Allied powers, fought against Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, Romania, Japan, and United States of America. That is the Allied powers. Means in partnership, these countries were together. So World War One from 1914 to 1918 between Central Powers and the Allied powers. So the First World War was fought between 1914 and 1918. Major countries of Europe took part in it. Europe had a very central place in the international or global system at that time. Now, Europe was most of the European countries had taken part in this war, World War One, and Europe had a very main location all over the world in the global system among other countries of the world. Now, the war caused a tremendous loss of life and property. Okay, there was lot of loss in this war for about forest land, farmland, houses, factories, schools, churches, universities, or everything was destroyed. The countries which joined the war suffered tremendous economic losses. Now, countries which had joined the war, they also suffered tremendous financial loss. Even the countries which did not join the war were also impacted by the war. The countries which joined, they also suffered loss. The countries which did not join, they also suffered because of this war. The economies like the money supply, commercial activities, industry, trade, everything was affected. Okay, of the economies of the victorious as well as losing country. The countries which won and the countries which lost, they also all the countries they suffered economic losses. The economies collapsed. At the end of the First World War, all the nations felt that such a war should not happen again, and some measures need to be taken to achieve that end. Okay? So when this First World War, which was between Central Powers, Allied Powers, wherein Allied Powers won, were victorious and Central Powers were defeated. So when it came to an end, all the nations all over the world, they felt that such a war should not happen again. Okay, and there should be some kind of measures, some kind of precautions, some which has to be taken to achieve that. Now, because for this reason, an international organization called the League of Nations, which is the first worldwide intergovernmental organization, whose principal main mission was to maintain world peace. So the League of Nations was established. You can see the logo here in the picture, students. So it was established out of this thinking that this organization will take such a measure uh, that the next world war wouldn't happen. It became an important platform to solve international disputes and carry out negotiation. Okay, so through this organization which was established, that is League of Nations. So it was said that all the problems, international countries between the problems between different countries of the world, any kind of disagreement, if they don't agree, it should not lead to war. Rather, there should be discussion, okay, and then negotiation should be done. The main responsibility of the League of Nations was understood to avoid war. So the main responsibility under this organization was to avoid war. After the First World War, major changes came about in Europe and outside Europe. So once this period from 1914 to 1918, when the First World War took place, there was a lot of changes that came about in Europe and outside Europe. For example, earlier empire in Europe collapsed. Like if you can see this map of Europe, that is pre-World War and post-World War One. So there was collapse of Russian Empire, which created the Poland, the Baltics after World War One, Estonia, Latvia, okay, and Lithuania, Finland. Then the Austrian-Hungarian Empire was dissolved into Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and Yugoslavia. So these were the changes that happened, and European collapse and new nation came into being. Many European countries, they had their colonies, okay, they had their territory, you can say, in the continents of Africa and Asia. Movements for independence started in these colonies. Movements for independence of this territory, colonies started. So this movement challenged the hegemony. Hegemony means the leadership or the rule of the European nations. League of Nations, which was established after the First World War to establish peace, but it did not succeed at preventing war. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, the League of Nations, which was established to look into it that next war doesn't take place, it was not able to succeed. Autocratic regimes like dictatorial government came up in Germany, Italy, Spain, and other countries. All these things, all this development, it's culminated means resulted in Second World War. Now we move on to Second World War. Now Second World War, this period, it happened between 1939 and 1945. So this students, this World War II, it began in Europe on September 1, 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, means attacked Poland. Great Britain and France responded by declaring war on Germany on September 3. The war between the USSR and Germany began on June 22, 1941, with the German invasion of the Soviet Union. The war in the Pacific began on December 7 or 8, 1941, when Japan attacked the American naval base at Pearl Harbor, and other American, Dutch, and British military installation throughout Asia. So the Second World War basically proved to be far more destructive. There was more destruction in comparison to First World War. Not only it was there was more advanced technology which was used, and it happened over a large area to a great extent. More advanced technology, like more advanced weapons were used, ships, submarines, aircrafts, tanks, artillery, biological and chemical atomic weapons was employed in this war. Countries which took part in the Second World War, once again they faced a situation of economic crisis, again financial loss. Now, which were the countries involved in the Second World War? It was between Allied powers and Axis powers. Now, under Allied powers, it was Britain, Great Britain, France, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, India, Soviet Union. Soviet Union, it's when the Communist Revolution, which took place in 1917 in Russia, and so Soviet Union came into existence. It is basically now Russia and 14 surrounded countries. Then China, America. So these were among the Allied powers. And Allied, then another group of countries was Axis powers. Under them, it was Germany, Japan, and Italy. Now, America played a major role in the Second World War. There was America's role in this Second World War was very important. It was very major, you can say. Now they had manufactured them. They had made something in large quantities using machines. And what was that? That was nuclear weapons, like explosive device, bomb. Now, in order to end the war, what did they do? They dropped two nuclear weapons. Okay, they dropped two atomic bombs, you can say, on two cities of Japan. That is, which were two cities of Japan. That is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They did it on 6th and 9th August 1945, respectively. Now, this bomb which they dropped, students, it was the world's first atomic bomb attack, which killed around 1,40,000 people. And 10 of the 1,000 died instantly, while others were succumbed to injuries or illness in weeks, months, years, and generation that followed. So it has a huge destruction on overall to generation to come for Japan. And the Second World War, it ended with the defeat of Germany in Europe, that is continent of Europe, and of Japan in the continent of Asia. Now, after First World War, students, the international organization which was established, that was League of Nations. Now, after Second World War, another international organization which was established, that was United Nations. So the United Nations, it's an international organization which was established to ensure peace and security at an international level. Two world wars were fought at the start of 20th century. That is World War I, World War II. Life and property were destroyed on a large scale in these wars. As a result, the League of Nations was established after the First World War, and the United Nations was established after the Second World War, out of the realization that there should be mechanism to establish world peace. There should be precaution taken that because whatever wars happens, it only causes destruction. There's no profit gained or benefit. It only leads to destruction. So all the nations realize that there should be something done to maintain world peace. So the League of Nations did not succeed at all, as we discussed. After World War I, League of Nations was not able to bring in such a situation that World War II doesn't take place. But after the use of nuclear weapons in Second World War, as we discussed now in Second World War, there was advanced level of technology, advanced level of weapons, explosive used. The idea took root that such destructive wars should be stopped, and it is the collective responsibility of all the nations to do so. means come together and take the responsibility of not creating such a, of not uh, participating in such a destructive war. So the United Nations was established after the Second World War to instill this understanding among all nations. So now, till now, students, we did about the interdependence, international system, interdependence, foreign policy, World War One, World War Two. Now we move on to next, that is Cold War. Okay. Now, what are the causes? What is the cause of Cold War? What are the causes of Cold War? Now, various causes were responsible for the outbreak of Cold War. Now, students, Cold War, when you World War One, World War Two was an actual war, but when it comes to Cold War, it is such a situation, or you can say such a condition where there is no actual war. Okay, but there are such a problem or such a circumstances or such a situation that it may be responsible to cause war. So that is Cold War. Now, at first, the difference between Soviet Russia and USA, Soviet Union or Soviet Russia or America led to Cold War. There was a lot of difference of opinion or lot of opposition between Soviet Russia and USA. They were allies. Soviet Russia, if you see in Second World War, Soviet Union and America, they were together as a under allied powers in Second World War. But after that, in Cold War, they became opposition to each other. The United States of America could not tolerate the communist ideology of Soviet Russia. They this Soviet Russia, they followed communist ideology, that is system. They followed such a system that wherein the means of the production or distribution or exchange should be owned by the community, that is state. Wherein, on the other hand, Russia could not accept the dominance, the control of United States of America upon the other European countries. So, among the many events that took place in the world after the Second World War was the beginning of the Cold War, that is between 1945 to 1991. And it is a long period of Cold War. Let us talk of few changes in this period. Now, America and Soviet Union, they were allies, they were together in partnership in Second World War. Now they became competitors as soon as the war got over. The cooperation between them gave a way to rivalry. Now they became competitors to each other. They became opposition or enemy, rival. There was rivalry between each other. Now this rivalry occupied a period of around 40 to 45 years of international politics. International politics, it's about the world we live in, the challenges we face, power and struggles, and the opportunity and the obstacles for relation among people, societies, states, organization. There was no open war between these two countries, but there was such a tension in the relations that it seemed that the war would erupt at any time. The concept of Cold War is used to describe the condition where there is no actual war, but there are such a situation, such a tensions in the circumstances that they may be responsible to cause war. Now, in this period, America was already a superpower. Okay, America was already a superpower in the Cold War, but Soviet Union, they also tried to become superpower. What they did, they also tried to become, they made nuclear weapons and they started to increase their military strength. Now, the struggle for power, arms race, means a competition between nations for superiority in the development and accumulation of weapons. Now, arms race, you can see it is the arms race was process of continuously developing new and more powerful weapons. With the USA and Soviet Union, they were competing with each other. Who will produce more? Differences in their ideologies, in their beliefs, attitude of checkmating each other means defeating each other by strategies means by using plan and defeating each other. Counter strategies. Counter strategies means a plan of action, a strategy, or you can say plan of action designed to counter the effectiveness of another strategy or action, gave rise to Cold War. So all these reasons culminated into Cold War between two superpowers, that is America and Soviet Union. Now, what were the effects of Cold War? Okay, what happened because of Cold War? The first point is creation of military organization. Now, both the superpowers during Cold War, they created military organization. So the respective superpowers took up the responsibility of security of the countries. What did they assure other countries? They promised that if you join our military organization, we will give you security. Okay. So NATO, that is North Atlantic Treaty Organization, it was a military organization under the power or control of dominance of America. While the Warsaw Pact, okay, was a military organization under the command of Soviet Union. Okay. So all these countries, you can see the light orange shaded one was under Warsaw Pact, that is under Soviet Union, and there's light greenish color, that is NATO, that is under the this country supported NATO military organization under America, and another is non-aligned nations. That non-aligned nations means which neither supported America or neither supported Soviet Union. So this was the first. This is the first point under effects of Cold War, that is creation of military organization. Then second is bipolarization of the world. Now bipolar means division into two groups. Now the world was divided into two groups. Okay, that is under America and Soviet Union. So during the Cold War, most countries of the world joined either of the two superpower blocs. So as I showed in the previous map, that most of the countries, they joined either America or Soviet Union. Such a division of the nations of the world in two groups is bipolarization. So the scope of Cold War increased due to this. So means there was a lot of extension of Cold War because of this world divided into two parts. Some countries supporting America, some countries supporting Soviet Union. So there was a lot of tension spread all over the world. Next point is arms race. Okay, as I discussed earlier, it's a pattern of competitive acquisition of military capability between two or more countries. Okay, competing with each other in terms of weapons. So the superpowers started producing arms like weapons which are used in war on a large scale to show that we are smart, to outsmart, to show we are clever than each other. They started a rivalry to make more and more destructive weapons like nuclear bombs, missiles, etc., and to acquire the technology required for the same. So they started competing and they started bringing out of more and more technology to make these destructive weapons. But soon both the superpowers, they realized that arms race may endanger international peace. Both the superpowers, they realize that whatever they are doing, it will ultimately lead to loss or destruction only. So efforts that were made towards arms control, less use of weapons, and disarmament, okay, limitation of use of exchange or manufacture of military weapons also happened during this period. Then next fourth point under effects of Cold War is creation of regional organizations. So developing nations, they created regional organizations at regional level in order to ensure mutual cooperation that is helping each other to achieve a goal in context of superpower rivalry. So in this situation of Cold War, okay, between America and Soviet Union, the nations which were developing, they created, or you can say established an organization. They felt that economic development, growth of standard of people, of nations people was more important. So European countries, they came together and they formed European Economic Community. Uh, that is in 1957, they European countries, they even came closer and they had economic ties and they formed EEC, that is European Economic Community. The first 6 countries to join were Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and West Germany, the European countries. Now, it was a common market, meaning countries within the group could trade across border without any kind of restriction or tariffs, the taxes. You can see in March 25, 1957, the 6 European nations they signed an historic agreement treaty to create a common market. While the Southeast Asian countries they formed another organization which was known as ASEAN. Okay, that is Singapore, which included countries like Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, etc. The name of the organization was ASEAN. ASEAN Association of Southeast Asian Nations was established on 8th of August 1967 when the foreign ministries of 5 countries, that is Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand, they signed the Asian Declaration, Asian Declaration as set out in the declaration. Declaration means students an official statement. They signed it agreement. The aim and purpose of this ASEAN, this organization, was to accelerate. Accelerate means to speed up economic growth. Economic growth means increase in the production of economic goods and services compared from one period of time to another. Social progress means improvement in the quality of life of people or population in terms of income, health, status, freedom, and it is achieved through a series of steps. Cultural development, development relating to particular society and its ideas, customs, and art in the region. To promote regional peace means peace in particular area of a country or of the world. Collaboration means to work together to achieve something. Mutual assistance means share and support on matters of common interest, that is partnership. To provide assistance to each other in form of training and research facilities. Means all these countries they agreed on all these things. To collaborate, to work together for better utilization of agriculture, industry, to raise the standard of living of people. To promote means to encourage Southeast Asian studies like research and education on language, age, culture, history of different states, ethnic groups of Southeast Asia, and to maintain close beneficial cooperation with existing international organizations with similar aims and purposes. So for this reason, these two regional organizations, that is the European Economic Community and ASEAN was, that is Association of Southeast Asian Nations was established. The next was non-alignment movement, or you can say non-alignment. It's basically not providing support to any powerful countries in the world. So in the period of Cold War, while the world was becoming bipolar, as we discussed, divided into two, there were some countries which did not join the superpower rivalry. So there was few countries which did not join America or they did not join Soviet Union. So such nations they decided to stay out of the Cold War rivalry. So their policy is known as non-alignment. Non-alignment was an important movement during the Cold War. So we have completed till this part, students, the Cold War as well and the effects of Cold War. Now we'll just look on to a few questions related to this part of the chapter. Now the first question here is to choose the right option and rewrite the sentence. It is the first question is a system of independent and sovereign states. What it is known as, the options are political system, international system, social system, none of this. So when it comes to system of independent and sovereign state, it is known as international system. Second question, the dash was established after the First World War to establish peace. Okay, so which organization was established? We need to write that. The options given is League of Nations, International Court of Justice, United Nations, World Health Organization. So the correct answer is League of Nations. So it was established after First World War, and after Second World War, it was United Nations. You should remember that. Then third is interdependence is an important feature of the dash system. The option given are Indian political, international, domestic, and economic. Okay, so correct answer is the interdependence is an important feature of international system. The next, every nation's policy related to other nation is called as dash. Options are foreign policy, internationalism, international politics, or national interest. Correct answer is foreign policy. Then the dash was fought between 1914 and 1918, between 1914 to 1918. Crimean War, First World War, Second World War, Cold War. So between 1914 and 1918, you should remember it was First World War. Then the Warsaw Pact was a military organization under the command of Dash. Options are America, Italy, Germany, Soviet Union. So Warsaw Pact was a military organization which was under America. Warsaw Pact was, it was under Soviet Union, and NATO was under America. So the next question is, NATO was an organization under the dominance of, again the options are America, England, Germany, Soviet Union. The correct answer is America. Then the countries in Southeast Asia formed the dash. Okay, SEATO, ASEAN, NAM, NAM, or SAARC. So correct answer is ASEAN. That's the regional organization formed by Southeast Asian countries. The next question is, explain the reason whether the following statements are true or false. So here you have to first mention whether it is true or whether it is false. And students, you have to also mention the reasons for it. You have to answer you have to write your answers in points. The first one here is, the world became unipolar due to the Cold War. So you will write the above statement is false, and you will even mention the reason. That is, at the end of the Second World War, America and Soviet Union, they became competitors, as I explained you. America and Soviet Union, who were allies in war, formed rival military organization. Most countries of the world joined the power blocs headed by these two superpowers. So, thus, you can say, or therefore, the world became bipolar during the Cold War. It is not unipolar, it is bipolar. The next question is, Cold War led to the formation of the military organization. Okay, so here you will write the above statement is true. Yes, as we know, two military organization was formed. You will write the reason. North Atlantic Treaty Organization (NATO) was formed by America and Warsaw Pact by the Soviet Union. These superpowers took upon themselves the responsibility of the security of the countries joining their military organization. Then give conceptual description of the following. You will get concept chart as well, where you need to, like you can see here, you have to write the answers for this. The first one here is countries involved in the First World War. As we know, it was between Allied powers and Central powers. You need to write under Allied powers which countries were included. That is Great Britain, or you can write Britain, France, Russia, Italy, America. And under Central powers, it is Germany, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. Then countries involved in the Second World War. Second World War was between Allied powers and Axis powers. And under Allied powers, you will write it's Britain, France, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, India, Soviet Union, China, America. And under Axis powers, you will write Germany, Japan, and Italy. So this way you will write the answers for this. So we have completed till this part of Cold War, till effects of Cold War. In our next lecture, we will continue the further part of the chapter. Sir?
Yes, teacher. Hello.
Yeah.